Some people have asked me about the way I work with King Paimon, and just want to disclose some or reveal some further information on the process. There's really nothing special about it regarding the specific way I connect with the spirit. So just handle it in a very simple way, and maybe this is also the strength and the whole idea. I connect with the spirit because I try to keep it simple. I try to first of all, I try to start simple and then may add further and further components later on in the process when I have more experience working with that spirit. This is a good idea because you get acquainted to the specific ways you get results and the specific ways you get some kind of feedback on your connection with the spirit when you use specific implements and design your the whole ritual in a specific way, or the whole communication session in a specific way, tailored of course to your own specific needs. Yeah, I mean, basically what I do is I light a candle. I don't use a circle all the time. Light a candle, use frankincense, incense sticks. And what I advise, there are also different qualities. So take care or check out what specific qualities you can get, because some incense sticks are really just some kind of wood, I think, and they just put it in some kind of incense oil or something. So this might not be the best incense sticks to use. What I do, I have tried some Ethiopian frankincense sticks. They are pretty good. Yeah, just try out different sticks and make sure that this is only frankincense. So what they sometimes do is they mix it with some other ingredients, and I would just take care or make sure that this is really pure, the pure incense that you are looking for. This also applies to the candles you use. Try to use candles without any how do you say, without any additional substances added to the candles. And with King Paimon, I started out using blue candles, dark blue candles. I had some silver candle holders, so that worked out pretty well. And I had a specific way of positioning these inside the circle. I can show that at some point in the future, show my specific setup. But as I pointed out, it's probably not the most important point, and not the most important point. The important point is that you have a setup of candles and incense, the implements that you use, that you can connect with yourself, so that you can, the important thing is that you have your own specific setup and that you can basically connect with the implements. This also helps you to build up a connection with the spirit. Apart from that, I mean, if you work with King Paimon, I don't know how many people have talked about that. I have much more information to talk about, basically because I've been writing a book about the spirit, but it's not necessarily only about that particular spirit. It's a huge part of the book. A huge part of the book is about King Paimon, but there are also other spirits in it, and King Paimon was basically the spirit which helped me to make the first steps in the field of the occult. It's to me, it was like the perfect spirit to begin with. The way of working with King Paimon for me was also pretty fluent and relatively easy, I would say. So it was not there was no pressure, nothing. So it was just a really fluid and smooth progression into that occult work. So that was a really good experience. I don't know if people have talked about that extensively, but what King Paimon can do for you is, for example, if you have a good working relationship with him, he can manipulate or job situations so that they turn out to be very beneficial to you. You don't have to expect that you will get a lot of money immediately, so it's possibly not the way it works if you work with King Paimon. I think it works in a different way. There may be other spirits that may provide you with immediate wealth. I don't know that personally because I've not tried it myself. But with King Paimon, it seems to be more implicit, I would say. So it's a more implicit way of getting the things that you want. And sometimes I have the feeling that you often don't really realize that you are getting the things that you want. So, and these are the points where you really have to pay attention to what's going on around you. I mean, I have worked with a couple of spirits, and I got a new client, for example, and then I get a monthly income. This gives me like let's say 200 euros per month more, like a permanent income. So when you work with King Paimon, sometimes it is like that you ask him to help you with your financial situation, and then let's say a couple of days later, after the ritual, you realize that you check out like a job advertisements on different internet web pages. And this is especially important when you don't usually do that. When you don't usually visit these online sites where you can look up jobs and stuff like that. So if you don't usually do that, and if you don't think about the ritual, nothing, and you do that, and you find something immediately. This is, I would say, this is like a cue, like a hint that the spirit is working with you in that particular moment. But as you see, it is your own effort. It is like the spirit is steering you in a particular way. It is like manipulating your own behavior to interact with your environment in a specific way. So it is not the way many people think it is. It is not like you ask the spirit to bring you something and then someone, like, I mean, this is an exaggeration, of course, knocks on your door and gives you a big present. A lot of people think it is something like that, and it is always, at least with that particular spirit, it is the manipulation of business partners. So the people that you make business with, he can manipulate these people to support you, or let's say to give you opportunities that they would normally not give you. For example, like a job interview or something like that. So, I mean, I have tried that. I have tried that just recently, and it works pretty well. And whether you make use of that opportunity or not, I mean, that's up to you. The most important point is to be aware when the spirit is really presenting you with that stuff, and that's probably the most difficult thing to understand, because, as I pointed out, it is somewhat implicit. It is like under the surface. And of course, if you do a ritual where you emphasize your desire to manifest money or material things. And then after the ritual, you keep looking for new jobs on the internet all the time. Of course, that's probably not going to work out for you. So, as many people before me have pointed out, you need to forget about it. And this is definitely true, because if you forget about it, and then you find yourself at some point after the ritual, a couple of days, maybe weeks after it, looking on the internet, not thinking about the ritual that you did a couple of weeks back. This has been pointed out by many other people, that you have to forget about it, forget about the content of your ritual, because then a process kicks in where the things are really coming to you. Because when you try to control, when you try to control the outcome of that ritual, then you're really hindering the process, the unfolding process, or the manifestation. And I'm saying that we are all trying to control that to a certain extent. Even if we know that this is not the right thing to do, it is somewhere in the back of our mind, and we're probably controlling it to some extent, although we try to forget it. So, what I did, for example, I did a session with King Paimon where I asked him to help me with financial stuff, and then a couple of days later, I found myself on the internet looking for job opportunities. And I was not thinking about the ritual. I hadn't been looking for jobs on these sites for a long time. And then something popped up. I found something, and that was basically a new business opportunity. And then I looked at my clock, the watch on my computer, and said 1111, so 4 times 1. And to me, that was a signal that there's something going on.